Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. Going to be giving you the talking points from our 3-2 win against Southampton at St Mary's. Now, one of the talking points was Edison Cavani. He came off the bench and scored 2 goals for Manchester United, and he also got an assist. And also had some good chances, so he could have had more than 2 goals. I'm surprised that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't start him today. But Edison Cavani has made a fantastic impact since he came to the club. Made an impact today. Did very, very well against Istanbul Başakşehir. He did very well against West Brom when he came on. He scored his first goal for the club in our 3-1 win against Everton. He almost scored with his first touch when he came on against Chelsea. We got him on a free transfer on deadline day. He signed a 2-year contract with Man United worth around 230 grand a week. So yeah, Cavani must start against PSG on Wednesday. And he would be very, very good if he could score against his former club. Now, another one of the talking points was Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson made his Premier League debut for Manchester United. Dean Henderson made 2 straightforward saves to deny Theo Walcott. The main explanation Dean Henderson came on is because David De Gea went off injured. David De Gea had banged his knee on the goalpost. I think Solskjaer says he does not believe that David De Gea will be out for too long. I also heard that Alex Telles went off with injury and he won't be out for too long. But yeah, I said at some point, Dean Henderson will become our number 1 goalkeeper. He has got that experience behind him now because he's had quite a few loan spells. Don't forget he enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield United. He also had loan spells with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury before. We got Dean Henderson at the age of 14, so he has been part of the club for several years. During the summer, he signed a 6-year contract with Man United worth 120 grand a week. There's obviously been rumours of him going out on loan in January, but Solskjaer was saying prior to the Istanbul Başakşehir game that Dean Henderson wants to stay at Man United and he wants to play for the club. But it said that Dean Henderson actually wants to go out on loan in January. Now, another one of the talking points was David De Gea. Today's game was his 500th appearance for the football club, David De Gea's. Didn't really have much to do in the game, to be quite honest with you. Made 1 world-class save in the first half. You can say David De Gea was accountable for Southampton's 2nd goal from James Ward-Prowse. Because in reality, he should have saved it, David De Gea. Another one of the talking points was Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes obviously got his name on the score sheet. He scored our first goal, took his goal very, very well. He missed a sitter though in the first half. Obviously, Alex McCartney made a bad mistake for Southampton. Made a few errors, didn't he? But yeah, Bruno Fernandes should have scored that. But he made up for that miss, with a goal. Bruno Fernandes is Manchester United's best player, without a shadow of a doubt. He scores in every game now, doesn't he? Bruno Fernandes has been at the club now for almost a year. A lot of his goals have come from the penalty spot. We paid €55 million for him from Sporting Lisbon in January. And Fernandes is under contract with Man United until 2025. Last season won Premier League Player of the Month twice and also won some Matt Busby Player of the Year award. But disregarding Bruno Fernandes, I think we'd be in a worse position than we are in. What I mean is I think we'd be lower in the table. And I think in January we've got to make another Bruno Fernandes type signing. Now, another one of the talking points was 8 successive away wins in the Premier League now for Manchester United. So yeah, that's another one of the talking points. I thought Rashford was a talking point as well. You know, Rashford was unlucky not to score. You know, he had a great chance in the game. But Rashford did get an assist in the game. Rashford was playing centrally. His decision making, you know, was poor a few times as Rashford's. I think Rashford's more effective out wide anyway. I like him on the left flank or the right flank. I really, really do. Rashford started on the right against Istanbul Başakşehir. But Rashford's really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Rashford has been a United player since the age of 7. And he's been in our senior squad since 2016. And Rashford turned 23 a few weeks ago. Rashford scored a few goals in the league this season. He's provided assists. His finishing's improved. He's done very well in Europe. You know, he scored a hat-trick against RB Leipzig. Became the second Man United player to score a hat-trick as a substitute. And he scored late on against Paris. And that was the second time he'd done that. Now, another one of the talking points was Ole's tactical flexibility. I think he got it spot on, apart from not starting Edinson Cavani. You know. So they are the talking points from the game. Obviously, there was no Anthony Martial because he was out with illness. He got ill overnight, didn't he, Anthony Martial? Obviously, Pogba, he's out with an ankle injury at the moment. Ole confirmed that he'd swollen his ankle, Pogba. Solskjaer said he's hopeful that he will be available for the game against PSG on Wednesday because Pogba's now missed, our last 3 games. Obviously, McTominay was not available today. Daniel James, he didn't play any part. Juan Mata, he didn't play any part. Luke Shaw, he's obviously still out with a hamstring injury. Eric Bailly, I think he's just come back from injury because don't forget he did have a muscle injury. That's my element of concern about Eric Bailly. He is too injury prone. Obviously Phil Jones is still out with injury. Jesse Lingard, as you all know, is out of his self-isolation. Yeah. But we are now 7th in the Premier League. We've won 5 games now in the league this season. We have won 4 games in a row in all competitions now. So we are in good form, and reflects on that, a lot of pressure has eased off Solskjaer. Now, obviously, like I mentioned on my match reaction, we overcome a 2-goal deficit because we was 2-0 down at half-time. You know, obviously the goals came from Bednarek, however you pronounce his name, and obviously James Ward-Prowse scored. Both of Southampton's goals came from set pieces, didn't they? James Ward-Prowse was very, very good from the set pieces, by the way. Like I said, I thought Theo Walcott had a good game for Southampton. Che Adams did quite well for them. Dijempo, he also did quite well for Southampton. Obviously James Ward-Prowse did well. So there you go. Stuart Armstrong, he also did quite well. Let's put into the equation though, Southampton had 2 key players out. You know, they had Danny Ings out, and they also had Nathan Redmond out with injury. But in the first half, Southampton were totally dominant, but in the second half, it was totally contrast because, we were the dominant side in the second half. Like I mentioned, we got some substitutions on in the game. Williams came on. Edison Cavani obviously came on. And Dean Henderson came on, didn't they? Obviously, Matic was playing. He was the holding midfielder. The only main explanation why Matic was playing though is because Pogba and McTominay weren't available. But initially, Matic has lost his place in the team. Like I mentioned, I think Donny van de Beek had a good game. He was playing in that deeper role. He's very, very effective in that deeper role, but that's his predominant position, Donny van de Beek's. We played him in that deep role against Istanbul Başakşehir and he was very, very good. Obviously, it was his first start in the Premier League today. I knew we was going to start Donny van de Beek today. I really, really did. But yeah. But from a Southampton perspective, they'll be very, very disappointed. Because there was 2-0 up and they had the advantage, Southampton. But they are still a good team, Southampton. They've enjoyed a pretty good season this season. Prior to this game, they was unbeaten in their last 7 matches. And Ralph Hasenhüttl is a very, very good manager. Got to say that. I've got to give him a lot of credit the way he's turned Southampton around. But Southampton were very, very consistent when they had Mauricio Pochettino. Because don't forget, Pochettino guided them to their highest ever finish in the Premier League era. But, our record at St Mary's is very, very good. I think we've only lost once at St Mary's since Southampton started playing there. Obviously, the game last season was 1-1 at St Mary's, and obviously the game at Old Trafford was 2-2. But like I said to you, Southampton have lost quite a few players in recent years. Lost Charlie Austin. They let Mario Lemina go out on loan. They also lost Cedric Soares. They lost Holberg. Obviously, in recent years, let quite a few of their players go to Liverpool. Let Virgil van Dijk go to Liverpool. They let Klein go to Liverpool. They let Adam Lallana go to Liverpool. They let Dejan Lovren go to Liverpool. And they let Sadio Mane go to Liverpool. But I think, Southampton are probably like a top 7, top 8 team. But they're not exactly a top 4, top 5 team, are they? But, when we was 2-0 down at half-time, I thought we'd, lost the game. I really, really did. But we came back, and I can't remember the last time we came back from a 2-goal deficit in the Premier League. I know it happened a lot under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. I think it was actually a few years ago when we played City, we was 2-0 down, and we came back to win 3-2. I think that was under the Jose Mourinho era. But yeah, our next game is PSG at Old Trafford in the Champions League group stage. We only need 1 point to qualify for the knockout stage. We've got 2 games remaining in the group stage and we've won 3 games out of 4 and we are sitting top of the group. I'm very convinced we'll get qualification for the Champions League knockouts. But it will be a tough game with PSG. It really, really will. Solskjaer's already beaten PSG twice as Manchester United manager. Beating them in the group stage earlier on in the season 2-1. And we're beating them in the last 16 a few seasons ago, beating them 3-1. And we overcame a 2-goal deficit. PSG have got some very, very good players, like I've mentioned. They've got obviously Mbappe and Neymar, who are the 2 danger men. Our defence has obviously got to keep them 2 quiet. And in the game in Paris, Tuanzebe dealt with Mbappe and Neymar very, very well. Mbappe and Neymar are the 2 most expensive players in the world at the moment. Obviously, they've got Mario Icardi, who's quite good. He's just come back from injury. They've also got Julian Draxler. I think he's out with injury at the moment. They've got that Juan Bennett. He's out with injury till March. They've got that Marquinhos. He's also out with injury at the moment. They've got that Carrera. He's also out with injury. They've got Idrissa Gueye, who they got from Everton. Idrissa Gueye, I think, recently recovered from injury. They've obviously got Ander Herrera and Angel Di Maria, who are two former Manchester United players. I think they'll be in contention to start on Wednesday. I really, really do. I think for the game on Wednesday, Solskjaer will go with a similar lineup as he did go with today, but he probably will make one or two changes, won't he? What formation will he go with? Will he go with a 4-1-2-1-2? Will he go with a 4-2-3-1? Solskjaer's gone a lot with a 4-2-3-1 formation since he got appointed in as Man United manager. Will he go with a 3-5-2? Because he's gone a lot with a 3-5-2 formation in the big games. You know, a few times, well, Ollie has gone with that 4-3-3 formation. We do play West Ham next in the league. That's next weekend. That's a game Manchester United should be winning. West Ham. But yeah. I think a lot of Manchester United fans will be saying now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to stay at the club and he deserves more time at the football club. Now, obviously, Solskjaer has received a lot of criticism as Manchester United manager, and I've criticised him when he's deserved to be criticised, because in a lot of his games, his team selections have been wrong. But on the other side of things, there's been some games where he showed a lot of tactical flexibility, especially in the big games. Now, I'm not saying bad about Solskjaer now. I credit him for how he changed that game today. I still don't think, no, he's the long-term manager for Man United. You know, this result against Southampton doesn't change my perception. Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager now for almost 2 years. We appointed him in December 2018. He's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. He has got a contract with the football club until 2022. I think it's next month, his 2-year anniversary at the club. So reflecting how long he's been at Man United, you know, he's obviously learned quite a lot and he's gained managerial experience. But he hasn't got that proven pedigree as a manager, you know. Man United is the third club in his managerial career. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles with Molde. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. And he enjoyed a very, very short tenure at Cardiff. The main explanation he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting Cardiff relegated, did Solskjaer. He's managed over 100 games for Man United in all competitions, but I'm hopeful that he can succeed at the club. Solskjaer's confirmed his priority is leading the club to long-term success. And he admitted that the team are going places under his management. Like I updated you this morning, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been asked about a new contract at Man United. Solskjaer said a new contract is not his priority at the moment. Maybe talks over a new contract could happen sometime next year. There's no guarantee that will extend his stay at the club anyway. Obviously, when we give Solskjaer the job permanently in March last year, he signed a 3-year deal with the club, and he's a half or more than halfway through his 3-year deal. But I said if Man United could finish in the top 4 this season, and if we could win a trophy, that would represent a very, very good season for Man United, and then that would give us something to build on. We could get top 4 this season. You know, we could win a trophy. You know, we could win the Carabao Cup. We're into the quarterfinals of that. We could win the FA Cup. But we won't win the Premier League this season, and I don't see us winning the Champions League. You know what I mean? There's quite a few issues that Solskjaer still got to solve at the club, like I've already mentioned. You know what I mean? If Solskjaer is still Man United manager in January, which I think he could be, reflecting how good we're doing at the moment, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what signings he makes in January. Obviously, there's a lot of players on our agenda. I think Solskjaer's got a great idea of what players he's going to offload next year. There's still deadwood in the squad that we've got to get rid of. We're obviously looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard, looking to get rid of Jones, Rojo, Romero, because Romero's now our third choice goalkeeper. I think we'll also be looking to get rid of Lee Grant. Well, we should get rid of Lee Grant. Lee Grant seldom played since he came in. I think he's only played like one game for Man United. Matic, he could leave next year. He has lost his place in the team, but he's been playing recently because Pogba and McTominay aren't being available. We could sell Paul Pogba next year. There's been a lot of rumours about that happening. Could possibly sell Juan Mata. Daniel James, he's been out of form. He's hardly played this season, but despite that, he said he still loves it at Manchester United. There's obviously been rumours of Brandon Williams going out on loan. Brandon Williams is our third choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. And there's obviously been rumours of Dean Henderson going out on loan. So it is good that we are making plans for next year. But prior to the game against Southampton, Solskjaer did say in his press conference that he's expecting a quiet January transfer window. So he's basically saying he's happy with the current squad that he has got. I heard that Solskjaer's only got around the £20 million kitty for the January transfer window. But with us obviously offloading players, we will generate more money and obviously our budget will increase. But I think, we need a centre-half and a right winger. They are the two priorities for Manchester United. They really, really are. Like I said, we've had some good results this season, but we've also had some bad results. The good results obviously came today against Southampton. Came back from a losing position. Good result against Istanbul Başakşehir, beat them 4-1. Had a good result against Everton, beat them 3-1. Had a good result against RB Leipzig, beat them 5-0. Had a good result against PSG, beat them 2-1. But the bad results have obviously come against Palace. Lost to them on the opening day of the season by 3-1. Lost to Tottenham by 6-1. That was an absolute embarrassment. Lost to Arsenal 1-0 earlier on in the season. And we lost to Istanbul Başakşehir by 2-1. So it has been, up and down this season at Manchester United. Obviously, there has been a lot of talks of Mauricio Pochettino replacing Solskjaer at the club. He's been the favourite to take over. Obviously, there's been talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in a few times. A few weeks ago, there was talks of Julian Nagelsmann coming in. There's also been talks of Ralph Hasenhüttl coming in. It said prior to the game today that Ralph Hasenhüttl was linked with a manager's job at Manchester United. Just wait there a second. Like I've said, Ollie needs backing at the football club because I don't think he's been backed enough by the board. The board haven't backed any of the managers that we've had since Ferguson left. That's one of the reasons why a lot of Man United fans are demanding the board out. And our recruitment policy has been poor for several years. I think it would be very beneficial if Manchester United could recommend the director of footballing because that's one of the structural changes that we need at the club. If we get a director of footballing, Solskjaer will get more backing. Obviously, if we get one in, we need someone who knows the culture of the club and someone who's obviously got that experience as well. We need a few names linked with that director's role. You know what I mean? But I think we've been in for a director of football now for at least the last 3 seasons. Solskjaer has made some good signings since he became Man United manager. He's brought around 10 senior players in. He's also brought a few academy players in because I like the way he's promoted the youth anyway. Ollie's spent over £200 million since he became Man United manager. We've obviously seen a lot of players leave the club since he got recommended in. We've seen the likes of, Herrera leave the club, Lukaku leave the club, Fellaini leave the club. Darmian leave the club, Smalling leave the club, Valencia leave the club, Young leave the club, Sanchez leave the club, Angel Gomez leave the club. Obviously, we've loaned a few players out as well. We obviously loaned Tahith Chon out, we loaned Dylan Levitt out, we loaned James Garner out. We also loaned Joe Pereira out again for another season. We loaned Diego Dalot out, and we loaned Andres Pereira out. So Solskjaer has got rid of quite a lot of the deadwood at the football club. Last season, we got qualification for the Champions League. We also finished third, and we got to 3 semi-finals. So Solskjaer did well in his first full season at the football club, didn't he? I think Man United's home form must improve. It really, really must. You know, we got our first win at Old Trafford in the Premier League against West Brom, but obviously it wasn't a good performance by Manchester United. Before that win against West Brom, we was enjoying our worst start at Old Trafford for around 50 years, weren't we? But yeah, we'll stick with Solskjaer for now. You know, let's see how, you know, we go up until Christmas and the New Year. And if, you know, we keep getting good results, then my perception's going to definitely change on Ole. It really, really is. In the last 8 years, we've been very, very inconsistent. Obviously, we've had different managers with different philosophies. We've spent over £1 billion on players since Ferguson left. You know, we've brought around 36 players in since Ferguson left. A lot of those players haven't been the right calibre players for Man United. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So we haven't won that now for a good 8 years or so. We only won 4 trophies since Ferguson left. We are the most successful team in Premier League history because we have won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier League titles, you know. But I just don't think any manager at Man United or any manager in general will replicate Ferguson's legacy or last as long as Ferguson did. That's just something we've got to accept. Ferguson endured 27 years at the club, won a total of 38 major honours. But obviously Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. You know what I mean? But yeah, very, very good results today. It gave me a glimpse of the Sir Alex Ferguson era, you know, when we used to come back from losing positions. But yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update for today. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.